Hello beautiful people, welcome to your astrological forecast for the upcoming week. We will be focusing predominantly on integration of the energies that got seeded with the new moon in Pisces, which we experienced a few days ago, but also we already entered the eclipse season because the new moon in Pisces was actually the last pre-eclipse lunation. The next one will be the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which we will experience on March 14th, right? And alongside with all of that, we also entered into the new month because I am recording this on Saturday, which is March the 1st, so new month, which is leading us towards the end of this astrological year and the beginning of a new one that will all kick off with the equinox, and then we enter into the Aries season, which will represent a brand new energy. Also, we entered into this weekend with moon in the sign of Aries, so already we tapping into these new forthcoming energies, even though we are still in the Pisces season, so there is a lot of the past stuff that is coming to the surface for us to work on, release, heal, integrate, whatever needs to be taking place. And this month is not crazily busy, apart from the fact that we have two eclipses, but astrologically we can see that things will start properly pick up towards the end of the month. So this month is really the final month for like deep inner shadow work, and then the juices will start flowing again from the end of the month, because today, as I'm recording this, Venus just stationed retrograde, Mercury just entered his shadow, pre-retrograde shadow, so we'll have Venus and Mercury retrograde this month, Venus until April 12th, and Mars just stationed direct last weekend. However, we only had 5 days without any planets being retrograde, so we have a lot of introspection that is taking place for us, and obviously these are all personal planets, so they are affecting us on a very deeply personal level. So anyway, before I go any further, let me just open this space, and I would like to invite my higher self, my spirit guides, angelic team, astrological team, ascended masters, also starseed family and ancestors, and all the beings of light that wish to be present for this co-creation. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and let's just dive in. So as I already mentioned, I'm recording this on Saturday, March the 1st. This will be released tomorrow on Sunday, so whatever I'm mentioning is already in action for you. We entered the weekend with Mercury moving into his shadow, 26 degrees, 50 minutes of Pisces. Mercury is moving into Aries on Monday, and then Mercury will re-enter Pisces again towards the end of the month on the 29th, which is actually the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Also, as I already mentioned, we entered the weekend with moon in the sign of Aries, all about new cycles, beginning for us, especially as moon is the current ruler of Mars, and Mars is how Pluto acts consciously. So there are a new potentially desires and emotions that are stirring for us, that are showing us what is kind of a precursor or premonition of where we might be going, especially with regards to how things make us feel. Also today, already at the time of me recording this already took place. Mercury made his first conjunction to North Node in Pisces, 27 degrees 24 minutes. Mercury will, just like Venus, conjunct North Node 3 times because of his upcoming retrograde. The second conjunction will take place on 4/4 portal, and the third and the final one will take place on April the 10th. And as I already mentioned, also Venus is stationed in retrograde today on 10 degrees 50 minutes of Aries, and Venus will be retrograde until April 12th, which is in fact the full moon in Libra, ruled by Venus. Venus will re-enter Pisces on 27th of March, and then will re-enter Aries. Let me see, I have it written down somewhere. Venus will re-enter Aries on April 30th. Yeah, April 30th, and then come out of shadow on May 16th, which is right after the full moon in Scorpio, but it's too far into the future. Tomorrow, so for you today, if you're watching this on Sunday the 2nd, Mercury is making his first conjunction to Neptune. Also, there will be 3 of those. The second conjunction between Mercury and Neptune will be on March 29th, right after Mercury moves back into the sign of Pisces. It actually will take place on 29 degrees and 59 minutes, because Neptune will then move into the sign of Aries the following day. So okay, Mercury Neptune second conjunction, Mercury will be retrograde 29th of March, just after Mercury moved back into the sign of Pisces, and the third and the final one 16th of April, and that's right after the full moon in Libra. Yes. Okay, also on Sunday the 2nd, Sun is making an exact square to Jupiter. This was already present for us during the new moon in Pisces because it was squared by Jupiter as the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Sun is in the sign of Pisces still. This is on 12 degrees 25 minutes, so this is a Cancerian decan, and this is all about us creating, letting go of the old versions of ourselves and also being challenged to choose who we want to become going forward, and also what is the story we will be creating under that identity. So yeah, so there's definitely a lot of pressure with regards to releasing the old outdated versions of ourselves, and alongside with that the old outdated stories, belief systems and ways of perceiving reality. So this is how we close the week. And Monday the 1st, as I already mentioned, Mercury will enter Aries for the first time. And Mercury, as I already mentioned also, will re-enter Pisces 29th of March and then re-enter Aries on 16th of April. And also on Monday the 3rd, free portal, by the way. I am guided to record a video, so I'll do my best to do exactly that. So 3 portal, Moon will move into a sign of Taurus, which is all about creation of a new foundation. 3 portal, what is free, is all about co-creation and expansion, right? Okay, then Tuesday, Mercury will make a trine to Juno. On Wednesday, Moon will move into the sign of Gemini, ruled by Mercury, and Mercury makes his first sextile to Pluto. Again, there will be 3 of those because of the retrograde, and this is happening on 3 degrees, all these 3 numbers. So all about expansion and co-creation, collaboration with the spirit. So Mercury in the sign of Aries making a first sextile to Pluto. This is the Taurian sextile. This is the first sextile since their conjunction, which took place on a new moon in Aquarius on January 29th, which was also the beginning of this new lunar year, the year of the wood snake. So yeah, this is all about the shedding of the old skin, shedding of the old ways of perceiving reality, old ways of identifying what's what. And the second sextile between Mercury and Pluto, by the way, Venus is doing exactly the same stuff, because Mercury and Venus, they are following each other. They're going to have a conjunction the following week on March 11th. So second sextile between Mercury and Pluto is going to take place on March 25th, which is right before the solar eclipse in Aries. And the third and the final one on April 20th, which is the year anniversary of the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction, right? And I think that might be the day when Saturn is conjuncting North Node, but don't take me don't take my word on it because I don't have it written down, but I know something is happening on that day. And also, as we know, that will be the beginning of Taurus season. So this is Wednesday, where Mercury making the first sextile to Pluto, which is also the opening sextile, the what we call it, vaccine sextile, right? The Taurian flavor, creating of a new foundation, tapping into the new way of thinking and perceiving reality. That is in alignment with this Aquarius, which is, all about breaking old patterns and freeing ourselves from everything that is now outdated, which is almost everything. And then Thursday, Moon is traveling through the sign of Gemini, doing her thing, conjuncting Jupiter, squaring Sun, squaring Saturn, sextiling Chiron. And then on Friday the 7th, Moon will move into sign of Cancer, the sign of her rulership, reconnection with our emotions. Sun will make a trine to Vesta, and Sun will also make a trine to Mars in Cancer. So this is the second decan of Pisces, which again is the Cancerian decan. Mars is in the sign of Cancer. For Mars, this is a Scorpionic decan. And 17 degrees, that's a Leo degree. So this is all about creation. Sun being a sign of Pisces, illuminating to us who we really are, which is spirit in a human form, and Mars being in the sign of Cancer, connecting us to the true essence of who we really are, diving deep and working on everything that is preventing us from feeling connected, the shadow, and working on that. So this is still all about shadow work, right? Sun in a sign of Pisces, all about what are we leaving behind. Mars being a sign of Cancer, creating the new sense of self. And then Saturday the 8th, Moon is traveling through the sign of Cancer. For me, it's a very busy day, but in the sky, Moon will conjunct Mars. Moon will also trine Sun. And then on Sunday the 9th, Mercury will sextile Pallas, and Moon will move into the sign of Leo. This will not be the case for everyone, but for me here in the Central Standard, it will be still on Sunday, the 9th. So we are seeing a little bit of a shift of a pattern here. Moon will slowly but surely start going into the fixed signs at the end of the week and beginning of a new one. Okay, and then we enter into the eclipse week, starting from the March the 10th. But that I will cover next time, which is when we will be talking about the eclipses, about the first eclipse of this year, which will be the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So yes, so that's for another time. So technically, what do we have going on here? So yes, Mercury is changing sign. The triple conjunctions, the first one of which, Mercury conjunct North Node. This was still in Pisces. This is tomorrow. Well, when you, this is actually today when I'm recording this. Mercury conjunct Neptune, that's tomorrow when you're watching this Sunday. And yeah, then Mercury sextile Pluto and Sun trine Mars. So this is technically another week which is all about Mercury. So Mercury plays a very significant role because obviously it is how we connect with the outer reality, how we identify things, and based on that we create stories, and based on that we have an experience, because whatever we believe it then manifests. Yes, so we have to be, it's 11:11, perfect. So we have to be conscious of our thoughts, not to be like like being super obsessed with it, but when things get triggered, it's an opportunity for us to inquire, like, okay, what's going on? Like, what is this thought? What is this belief? Where is it coming from? What is the story behind it? And where did it all begin, right? So now Mercury still being a sign of Pisces until Monday, until the free portal. These all outdated patterns, and this is definitely something that I can definitely confirm for myself. And I know I haven't recorded any practical application of astrology for over a month, and I do have the intention, but there is so much going on. There is so much I'm processing. So many things are changing in my personal life, and it's just like I kind of feel like there is not much happening again, necessarily, at least not in my life, like in the outer reality, but there is so much happening in the inner world, in the inner landscape, and I feel that it's just happening so quickly. There are so many things happening, and a lot of that is connected to these current energies, these energies of Pisces, especially now with these after effects of this Pisces new moon. There is a seeding of this energy that is forcing us, because it was squared by this Jupiter as a traditional ruler of Pisces. It was squared, and this is the pressure for us to really work on everything that needs to go, right? Everything that we need to release, because it's not in alignment with where we're going, with who we becoming, with who we even are now. Because just from personal experience, everything that makes you feel not good, but before it was okay, before we just could get on with it and cope with it, we outgrown it. It's no longer a frequency match, and that's why it's becoming so unbearable. And that's why spirit, and this is my case, I know that many people are going through it. It might not be everybody's case, but obviously we are all connected, and we are in Pisces season, which is the unity consciousness. I feel many people are going through this, where everything that needs to be resolved is coming up, and it's like overwhelming, because it is flooding. It is literally the flooding of all of these things. And like I just mentioned, Mercury just is having the first conjunction with the North Node today, as me recording this, yesterday, if you're watching this tomorrow, on Sunday the 2nd, either way, the first of 3. So we're going from Pisces to Aries to Pisces, and having another 2, Mercury retrograde and the Mercury direct in April, because we really have to reset the program, the way we are experiencing this life, the way we connect into it. But how are we gonna do it if we don't even know, how is our life being operated at the moment? Like, what is the software? How does it work? Where is it coming from? So that's why I really feel very strongly that this is probably what many people are experiencing at this time, that everything that is unresolved is coming up. And it's overwhelming, because it's Pisces, and that means everything. Like whichever lifetime it was, whether it was this one, previous one, whether it was ancestors, like everything that ever happened on this planet lives within you right here, right now. Obviously, it's in our carbon DNA, it got passed on. Also all the imprints of the soul, everything you've ever been, everything your soul ever experienced, it lives within you. We don't always feel like we have an access to it, but it is here, it is right here, and we do have an access to it if we put the intention and obviously remove the blockages and things that are preventing us. So anyway, I don't even know where this is going. Technically, there is not all that much going on this week. It is not a quiet week, but it's not all that much going on. The main focus is on Mercury going from Pisces into Aries, making his first of 3 conjunction and the first sextile to Pluto, which is the foundation. The foundation for us to co-create, right? Collaborate in co-creation of the new Pluto on 3 degrees. This is happening on 3 degrees, a co-creation with the cosmos, with the quantum field, right? The Aquarius, the quantum field. We need to update the program. We need to update the software. We need to update the way we think. So that's why with this Mercury being a sign of Pisces, obviously Mercury was in a new phase conjunction to this moon, and that is all about really going beyond, because Pisces is everything. It is the spirit, and we are spirit. Majority of who we are, our essence, is not manifested, right? This is like the tip of the iceberg, that okay, this avatar, this identity, this me that I'm playing in this lifetime, this is just the tip of the iceberg. My soul has been so many things, and yours also, whether on this planet, different planets, it goes back to infinity, right? So everything that we see manifested is just the tip of the iceberg, and also is the manifestation, especially with what we observe in the world around us, is the manifestation of what already was, right? So now through this square that we are experiencing exact on Sunday, this Sun square Jupiter, and that cycle is resetting in May, I believe. It started in May 18, 2024, when Sun and Jupiter conjunct in the sign of Taurus. The next time they conjuncting in Cancer, on 3 degrees, of course. And that will be alongside with the new moon in Cancer in June. So that's what I mean. So there are all these things that are being created. There are all these energies that are navigating us and guiding us through this process that we are experiencing at the moment, which is the process of letting the old go, identifying what it is. The way we identify it is how it makes us feel. Okay, this doesn't feel great. I am not happy about, being in this situation again, feeling this way again. Okay, this is a reoccurring pattern, whatever. So having the opportunity to identify, right, Mercury, and then because it doesn't feel as great, we know that, okay, this is something that I've outgrown. Perhaps a few years ago I was okay to cope, right? But many people don't want to cope anymore. Many people want to go beyond coping. They want to experience abundance, and they want to experience happiness and joy, and experience this life through their authentic expression. I just want to be myself and able to do what I love, and and just feel good, right? Like not this continuous suffering and sacrifice and martyrdom, and these frequencies just don't feel good anymore. A few hundred years ago, this was something that was honorable, something that people looked up to, like put people on pedestal, people who sacrifice, right? This is not something, especially if you speak to the younger generation. I'm sorry, I just washed my hair and it's all over the place. Anyway, so if you speak to the younger generation, none of them desires to sacrifice nothing. Why should they sacrifice? Their grandparents had to sacrifice, and they go like, well, why should I sacrifice? Don't you want something better for me? So that's what I mean. So we can see, even observing this younger generation, which, for many people from the previous generation is a huge trigger, because they have whatever kind of opinions and labels about it. But the matter of fact is that obviously these younger generations are showing us what we have grown, because they are not willing to settle for whatever their grandparents settled or our ancestors settled. That like, I'm not doing that, even like with regards to my own personal experience and how it compares to what my parents went through, for example. I'm not willing to settle. Why should I settle? Why should I sacrifice? That doesn't feel something that I would, enjoy doing, right? And yes, sometimes people say, well, you have no choice, but is that really the truth? Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, squared by Sun in Pisces. It's well, this is maybe part of the stories. Pisces traditionally ruled by Jupiter, right? This is part of the stories that, now lost meaning. Like, why should you know have choice, right? Like, now we live in a time and age where we have many more choices available to us than probably ever before, or at least for a few thousand years, for sure. So we do have a choice. We don't have to go through the same things that people before us gone through. Obviously, ideally, we learn from the lessons of the past, the South Node in Virgo, right? Those who walked the earth before us, including our previous incarnations and the ancestors and all the rest of it, because it's all in the same pot, essentially. And we all have the access to it, and we all are the living continuation of it, right? So yeah, the South Node in Virgo is the anchor point. It's where we've been, right? We're talking about Mercury. This whole week it's about Mercury. So that is the anchor point, the South Node in Virgo. We're now going to be gearing up towards the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, right? The first eclipse of 2025, the year of the snake, the year of culmination, number 9. I mean, come on, so we have the opportunity to learn from the lessons of the past. Again, we discerning, is this going with us? Is this not going with us? But we are being encouraged to allow our emotions, and how does this make me feel, to help us to navigate, right? Mars is in Cancer. This is the one aspect that is not involving Mercury, the trine between Sun and Mars, right? On Friday, the Venus day, right? 17 degrees, which is up to number 8, which is the strength. And this is, for Mars, the Scorpio decan, for Sun is the Cancer decan, right? So we are diving deep within into our psyche and into our emotions because of this flooding we are experiencing, right? With all of these things coming up, especially, now that Neptune is in a new phase conjunction with North Node, Venus is in a new phase conjunction with North Node, and as of today, March the 1st, Mercury is in a new phase conjunction with North Node. But we know that both Venus and Mercury are going to conjunct North Node a couple of more times. So this is all happening for us, to discern. Mercury as the rule of the South Node, discern, does this still hold the meaning? How does it make me feel? The North Node is in Pisces. It's saying there is this totality of everything that ever happened on this planet available for us to tap into, and through contrast, choose, because Jupiter, as the traditional rule of Pisces, is in Gemini. Choose. Is this something that I need to keep relearning? Is this a lesson I need to keep repeating? Because there are people on this planet, we didn't all come here with the same purpose. We didn't all come here to create the new earth. Some people came here to be the keepers of the tradition, keeper of the past. Some people came here to play the role of the shadow, to be the great awakeners, to offer the contrast. Everybody has a role to play, and every role has to be filled. When you have a movie, not everybody can be the main star. Somebody has to be the cleaner. Somebody has to be the one to sell the coffee to the main character in a coffee shop or whatever. So that's what I mean. Everybody has a role to play, and the role is important, right? So it's not like one role is better than other. It's just everybody is needed. Everybody is important. It's just in a sense, because of this big reset that we heading towards with the 2026, the year 10, the year of Wheel of Fortune, and the 1 and 0, the Fool and the Magician, and also because of the Saturn Neptune moving into Aries, we already going to have the Neptune moving into Aries this month on the 30th. Again, number 3, 30th, free, again, free, right? 30th of March, we're going to have Neptune moving into the sign of Aries for the first time. Then Neptune will go back into Pisces and re-enter Aries next January. Either way, this is a new beginning. This is a new beginning with regards to what the universe desires, what the soul desires, what your higher self desires, which everything, all there is, source desires, right? So we are going into the new direction that would now create a new meaning, new sense of meaning, new desire, because Mars is the rule of Aries. Mars is how Pluto acts consciously. New desire. What do we want to create going forward, right? Mars is going to re-enter Leo next month. Mars already had 2 trines to North Node when North Node was still in the sign of Aries. Mars will have one more trine to North Node, but then will be from Cancer to Pisces, right, next month. So that's what I mean. There are all these like a passing of the button from what was and where we're going. And our navigational system is the emotion, also our thoughts, because the thoughts are creating emotional response, especially if we are not in charge of them, if we don't know how to regulate them or master our thoughts. And that's why Pisces season, this is the best time of this year to create spiritual practices that will support us in this process, and also in this new cycle which we will enter into towards the end of the month with the equinox, when we will slip into the new astrological year. So there will be all this new energy, right, that will become available to us. But at the moment we are still in a depth of the totality of the previous cycles, right? The depth of the totality of the previous cycles. And Mercury, as the ruler of the South Node and current ruler of Jupiter, which is the traditional ruler of the North Node, Mercury is helping us because it's bringing, with this Jupiter being in Gemini, obviously ruled by Mercury, is bringing us to the surface of our conscious mind all these thoughts and all these stories that then create emotional response. And this is a preparation for Jupiter moving into Cancer in June, which is going to amplify everything, right? So now all these thoughts are coming up and create emotional response, and Mars being a sign of Cancer is helping us to feel into it and to help us navigate, like, okay, is this somehow how I want to keep feeling, and is this what I want to keep doing? Because Mars is the action planet, right? And Mars is now direct, but it's still slow because it's still in his shadow until May. So also Venus going retrograde, already been retrograde by the time you're watching this. These are the former rulers of the North and the South Node. Also, these are the relational planets, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Everything is reality at the moment as we experience in it has a polarity, right? The feminine and the masculine, the yin and yang, which is not one is better than others. They need to be in balance. So all of these things that we are experiencing at the present moment, again, as the after effects of this new moon in Pisces, are showing us what is now needing to be released because it was out of balance. Through that understanding, especially through the contrast, understanding what holds and doesn't hold meaning, and finding a new way of connecting with the life we are experiencing that will take us into this new direction, right? This Mercury moving into the sign of Aries, and then sextiling Pluto, which is the foundational sextile, the Taurus sextile. Like, in order to create a new reality, it has to be created from a new level of consciousness. And this is what we're talking about here. So at the moment, we are regurgitating, re-experiencing a lot of the past. Because it needs to come up. It needs to come up for transmutation, because it cannot go with us. Because if we keep taking these old belief systems, this old way of thinking, these judgments, especially towards oneself, and then that extends towards the other, and this division and separation stuff, if we take that into future with us, it will just create the same present, right? So this is why with the Saturn, Neptune moving into Aries, Uranus moving to Gemini this year, fully next year, in the year 2026, with the reset point. Also 2026 is when we will experience the first eclipse in Aquarius, even though the nodes are not moving until July 2026. Already the next new moon in Aquarius will be the eclipse. So we have a complete shift of pattern, even with regards to astrology and how the eclipses are landing, while the nodes are in a different sign to the eclipse. Next year we'll have an eclipse in every single element. We'll have an eclipse in Aquarius, in I believe it's Virgo, Leo, and Pisces. Yeah, like it's gonna be in all the elements. So all the elements, again, it will be the year 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune by the Magician and the Fool. And the Magician has all the elements. It has all the, suits, right? Suits, the pentacles, the cups, the swords and the wands. These are elements, right? And they will become available. They're always been available for our disposal to use to create. But at the moment, we are learning about what is blocking me from accessing this, what is blocking me from believing that I have this available to us, to me, to us, to everyone. And this is why all of these things are coming up, this enormous flooding. And even just in my personal life and my personal relationship, it is like a roller coaster. Like another thing, okay, sort this out, okay, another thing. And it's just like this fast track of resolving of everything that's unresolved from the past, whether this lifetime, previous lifetime, because everything exists in a present moment, right? Everything that ever happened exists in a present moment. It's lived by you, through you. because it exists within you. So this is why, I mean, like, the astrology is, again, is just showing us, like, okay, yeah, this is where you at, you know, it's a step-by-step process. Mercury is the ruler of the South Node in Virgo. The next lunation is full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. You know, it's going to illuminate to us, and that will be obviously right before we will be entering into Aries season, only a few days before, 1 week before. So we are being guided, and in a sense, you know, universe is being kind by so many things being on a pause, especially with all this retrograde energy. Like I mentioned, we only had 5 days since the beginning of the year. We only had 5 days of non-retrograde planets, right? Well, when Mars stationed direct last weekend, and before now Venus stationed retrograde, and then Mercury is gonna follow the suit on a 15. Mercury is gonna go retrograde, so that's what I mean. And then, you know, they all will station direct in April, but then Pluto's gonna station retrograde in May. So we have very, very little time this year when there are no retrograde planets. What does this mean? Well, retrograde planet is deeply introspective and is deeply individuated. You know, it's like it's creating its own individual expression, that I'm not gonna do what everybody is telling me to do. I'm not gonna do what I've always done. I'm gonna do things my way. And this is very Aquarian, and it's also the opposition to Aquarius, Leo, right, which is where Mars will be returning next month and be there throughout May. Leo is all about authenticity. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Also, what people are experiencing right now is not the same experience, but we are all embodying and processing old energies, right? This is something which we all have in common, because the North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in Virgo. These are the axes that represents the spirit coming into form, and then the form returning back to spirit, right? Is the Virgo, which is the human embodiment of the spirit, the lived experience of the spirit through the human avatar, and then the Pisces is the all there is the source. So this is how there is a continuous feedback mechanism between us as the incarnation and the spirit, right? We are always connected. So what did I want to say with all of this? Like, obviously at the moment, you know, with these nodal placements until July 2026, we are learning, you know, we are learning, and we are recalibrating, and we are shifting, because after that the nodes will move into North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo. So the purpose is changing, because our expression is changing. And I already talked about this, and it was mentioned multiple times. It's like we are having life review, especially this year with the year number 9, the Hermit and the Snake, right, shedding all the old skin, all identities. We are having a life review in the human incarnate body, right? So you don't have to die and go back to spirit and then have life review. No, it's happening right here, right now. And the spirits, the soul, you know, the souls of us that are incarnate, that choose to stay, that choose to go forward with these energies, we are choosing a new role, because these old contracts that we had with all these other participants, they are ending. And this is why at the moment we are on a fast track of culminating these contracts, which is why so many things are happening. You know, that's why so many things that are uncomfortable and don't feel pleasant anymore between us, our relational dynamics with whatever it is, whether it's another person, whether it's your religion, whether it's your politician, whether it's your food, whatever the hell it is, it doesn't matter what it is, because everything is relational. And now Venus being retrograde by the time you're watching this, until the full moon in Libra, which is not an eclipse, but the new moon in Libra was, you know, the seeding of the full moon, which we'll experience next month, the full moon in Libra on April the 12th. That the seeding of that moon was an eclipse. But the full moon in Libra is not an eclipse, because we have the full moon in Virgo eclipse this year. Well, at least now in spring. So that's what I mean. So there is all this, like, okay, there is an energy that's karmic, that is destined, which is this, we have to start relating in a new way. Now, how you're going to do it is up to you. You know, the universe is just showing us the imbalance through the experience, lived experience, and also through how does it make us feel, which is why Mars is in a sign of Cancer, which is considered his fall for such a long time. Mars is in Cancer for a very long time, between 2024 and now 2025. And that's because the attention, how Pluto acts consciously, is focused inwards. All these retrograde planets forcing us to go inwards, to individuate, to really rediscover ourselves anew. Because if we are staying on this planet, you, I, and whoever else is watching or not watching, whoever is staying on this planet for the foreseeable few decades, we have to change. We all have to change, because who we aware, the old identity, is not in alignment with where we're going, and this is everyone. This is everyone, because Mars, which is our Pluto acts consciously as the former ruler of the North Node and the ruler of Aries, which is the new beginning. So the upcoming ruler of Saturn, which is the manifestation, is also the chrono, the time. We know the time is completely changing, the perception of time and the way of experiencing time. And also the Neptune, which is the source, which is all there is, the ruler of Pisces. They will be ruled by Mars. So that's what I mean. Everybody is changing. Everybody is going through their own process. It doesn't matter who you are. Even if you are a spiritual teacher that was on this path forever, born enlightened, we all going through a process of change, because this is the frequency of everyone, right? North Node is in Pisces. It's all there is. This is the frequency of the entire multiverse, right? Everything is undergoing change, because everything is shifting, and this is the only constant, the change. But now is very palpable, because we're becoming much more conscious, we're becoming much more aware, awake and aware of what is actually going on, because Pluto is now in the sign of Aquarius, is the wake-up call. Jupiter being a sign of Gemini, people are starting to ask questions. They don't want to be stuck in the same experience. We all want to expand and start experiencing reality differently. Again, it might have been okay for our ancestors, even though they didn't particularly probably enjoy it, but at the time they had no choice, so they did what they had to do to survive. But Uranus is ending Taurus. Uranus is moving into Gemini. It's saying, no, it's no longer about survival. There is a new choice to be made, because we're going beyond. We're going beyond. We're going to individuate and live from the heart space and experience reality very differently, right? And part of that is this unity consciousness, this connection back to source, this co-creation with the quantum field, co-creation with the spirit. We're going back to the ancient history of Lemuria and Atlantis, and not making the same mistake, so we don't have to go through another 10,000 years of backwards, right? Not necessarily, but I mean, if we compare Atlantis and then what followed, especially the dark ages of the Middle Age, very big difference, right? So we had to learn. South Node in Virgo, we had to go through all the stages to get to the same point, which is where we are now. And now we're making a different choice. Not everybody is going to make it, because once again, not everybody came here to do so. And that's why we are learning to remove the judgment about what other people are up to, because it's none of my business, it's none of yours. Everybody came here to do what they came here to do, and only they know what it is, because they know how it makes them feel if they're not doing that, right? So everything is completely changing. Everything is completely shifting. The way of living life on this planet is completely undergoing reconstruction, and it's going to be very different going forward. But because, again, the physical manifestation, so when the energy takes a form, is the last stage, so it's going to take time. It is taking time, but we can already feel it. We can already tune into the frequency, and for many people, they can bring it through much faster. They can already be experiencing it now in a real time, if they already done the work, or enough of it, to remove the past karma and to transmute the energies of the that were stuck in the past lives, healing the inner child from this lifetime, the past lives, wounding, whatever. If all these patterns got balanced and neutralized, then you rock and roll. That's it. You mastered your thoughts, your emotions, what, and then you can just tap in, tune in, and just create whatever you want to create. And this is the possibility and opportunity, and this is something that is going to be available, and it's already available, but this is going to be the way to be. This is going to be the new normal, right? The new normal. But the getting there from where we are to where we're going, it's going to take time. But it doesn't have to take the same amount of time for everyone. So this is the thing, right? With the Jupiter in Gemini, you're making your choice. What is your next story? And then Uranus going into Gemini as of July, and then fully next year in April. That's it. Uranus. It's like literally, it's a instant manifestation if you know how, right? And that's why we're learning this year. This year is the year of Hermit. It's all about learning. So don't beat yourself up about it, because we are all in it. We are all plowing through the mud, and it doesn't matter who you are, how much you know, what you've gone through it before. We are all going through it. Some people are going through it easier and faster, but we're all going through it, right? So with all these aspects and transits that are taking place this week, this is just another step of the journey. Another step of the journey that is entering us into eclipse season. So it's like, okay, things are starting to kind of intensify. We're starting to understand that, oh, well, yeah, we're definitely going forward with something which we don't even fully understand, because, Mars is still in Cancer. I mean, it only just stationed direct recently, and it's still in his shadows. It's like, what just hit us, Mars trine the new moon, like who knows, and this is the thing, especially as Mercury is still in a sign of Pisces this weekend. The logical mind will not give you the answers, because that which we creating, it's new, right? It's like, even though, yeah, you can say this reminds me of this reminds me of that, this already happened to humanity, look at the cycles, but it was never exactly the same, and it will never will be exactly the same, because everything else changed, right? Everything else moved. So that's what I mean. So the logical mind will not give us the answers that are accurate, because the logical mind is the archive of the past. So you can only tap in, tune in, feel the emotion into it, and whatever it is for you, it's the right thing for you, for right here, right now. Because also, as you keep going forward, growing, evolving, changing, everything will change and everything will keep changing. And this is the thing, at the moment, the training wheels are on, and the universe is kind, because it's saying you have time. We still have time, but then things are going to speed up, and things are going to start manifesting quicker, especially with Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini, Saturn and Neptune moving into the sign of Aries. And everybody has to take responsibility for their creations, because there'll be nobody to watch over you and say like, oh yeah, this way, that way. Like, no, this is the year for it. This is the year when we're supposed to go through as much of the muck, heal as much as we can, and reconnect, so the guidance is pure and clean for each individual, because everybody has their own direct contact, so it doesn't get filtered down by the third party. Yeah, so that's what all these transits, at least from the way I understand it or understand it, at least how I'm tuning into it, and also, like I said, how I'm experiencing in my personal life. This is it. It's like, it literally is the 2 steps forward, 3 steps forward, 2 steps backs, or whatever, like we are slightly moving ahead, but it's very slow, because there is so much stuff of the past. It's like literally like, the house is full of garbage, and you need to clear it up, right? It's also like the analogy that I used before, that I heard from someone else, I can't even tell you who now, that you have the glass full, so you cannot like pour any more into the glass, because the glass is full. You can keep pouring, but the water will start coming out, right? Or whatever is in the glass. So that's that. So as these new energies are coming through, these new energies, these new seeds of consciousness, the old is coming out, and it has to come out. And that's why it's so, in many cases, overwhelming, because it's too much at once, and it's unstoppable. This process is unstoppable. You can regulate how fast you go, but it is not stoppable. You cannot stop it. It is happening, and it will continue to keep happening, because this is the direction that we all agreed to prior to incarnation. This is what was agreed. This is what was decided, and that's why with these eclipses, upcoming eclipses, eclipses are karmic. They are destined. They're like, okay, how you're gonna do it is up to you, but this is what's happening. The only thing we can control is the response to the energies, and how we're gonna work with the energies, but the energies are there one way or another. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I'm just going in circles. And yeah, with the Pisces energies, nothing probably makes much sense anyway, because when we deep in it, we cannot see the forest for the trees. We are just going through what's right here, right now, in front of us, and feeling whatever we need to feel, and just getting from one day to another. And eventually, when we look back, it will all make sense. But right now, I don't see how probably potentially some people, but for most people, I don't see how many people are like totally like right on point, full clarity with regards to everything, and like, yeah, let's go. Most people are confused, deep in their feels, don't know what's going on, where we're going, what's happening, why am I feeling this way. And yeah, this is probably the story for most people. Like, why is this happening in my life again? Why is this coming up again? Oh my God, I thought I dealt with this already. Oh my God, and blah, blah, blah. And this is where most of us are at. Not too much forward momentum, not too much change, just regurgitation of the past. And like, oh, why? Why is still this happening? Because this is the year of Hermit, South Node in Virgo, North Node in Pisces. Triple conjunction between, Venus and Mercury, and North Node and Neptune, and for Venus, Saturn as well. So anyway, let's just start. Actually, I wasn't even going to use this deck, but I was being called to in my meditation. So let's just start with the Moonology messages, see what the new moon in Pisces wants to tell us with regards to the after effects. Okay, the recent new moon in Pisces 2025. What is the message here? Okay, accept help. Yin, receptivity. Yeah, look at that, the void, right? The universe is available. It's there to help you, but we need to open ourselves up. And look, there's a full moon. Full moon in Pisces will be an eclipse in September. So yeah, so there is an illumination, and also like, yeah, look at this person sitting in front of the moon, and there is this darkness behind us, which is the void, which is everything, is the Neptune, is the source, is the Pisces, is the North Node in Pisces. And yeah, I feel that this is probably something to do with the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse, also because Virgo is very much about help and organization and organizing things and like being of a service and stuff. So yeah, so probably with the full moon in Virgo, you will understand, because with the new moon, it's all about unconscious, right? It's a seeding of a new energy. New moon in Pisces we just had, and also Pisces on the top of everything. It's Pisces squared by Jupiter, like hello, it's just like So yeah, so this energy that just got seeded is going to, well, I mean, obviously new moon, full moon, we will have much more clarity with the full moon in Pisces, and then obviously even more so when the cycle ends next year with the next new moon in Pisces. However, there will be a lot to illuminate it to us with the upcoming eclipse. And yeah, the help is available, the void, the universe is always there for you, but we need to open ourselves to receiving. And how do we do that? Well, we need to recognize where did we block or close our heart to protect ourselves, so nothing can come in, but nothing can go out. And that doesn't allow for a lot of energies to come through, because when we shut the gate, nothing can come through, right? So yeah, accept help, yin, moon. And at the bottom we have releasing. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to release that which, also with these two hands with the moon, there is again another person in the desert, and the triangle represents the free, right? The free corners, co-creation, holding the moon in our hands. Yeah, our identity, who you're becoming is up to you. So this is to me the releasing the old versions of ourselves that felt I have to do it all by myself. I'm all alone. I feel like an orphan. Universe forgot about me. God forgot about me. But it's like, no, you need to release these things that you believed were you, that you were being told, but those before you, all these previous moon cycles, the ancestors, everything, past versions of yourself that said, I have to do it all by myself. Look at that lone figure there in the middle of the desert. Oh, it's all up to me now. No, it's a co-creation, the triangle, right? But also I feel releasing ourselves from the triangulation and playing these sad roles of the victim, persecutor, and savior, right? Yeah. And it's 11:47, which is the 11:11, right? Okay, let's just the accept help is, I feel, pretty self-explanatory, but let's just see about this releasing the moon set. That was the, okay, let me just see for some further guidance. Moonset, releasing. It's time to let go. Whatever you're asking about, offer it up to the divine, release it. Although you're constantly creating your own reality, there is something about your current situation that suggests what's done is done. You've played your part, release. When you release an issue to the universe or the divine, you allow space for whatever is for your own highest good to take its course. As much as you might think you know exactly what you want, drawing this card suggests you need to allow the universe to show you your next best best step. Make the word acceptance. Isn't that interesting? Because this card is the acceptance. Your keyword for the moment, dance with what is. Trust that the universe has an amazing plan for you, because it does. Sometimes we need to accept that situations have evolved, even if we are not quite ready for them to do so. When this card comes up, there is a sense that an emotional seasons are changing, so move on. Sometimes you just have to let go, to let the goddess. Okay, and about the symbol just as moonrise, it's all about when the moon appears above the horizon. Moonset is about when the moon disappears below the horizon, concluding her appearance in our skies for another day. So yeah, like I said, this is what I really feel is about us letting go of the old versions of ourselves. It's done. It's also, to me, these contracts, this contract we played with one another for many incarnations, and it's done. We don't have to keep recreating the same wheel. We're here to create something different, and yet accept help. We're not alone, and many of us are going through a lot of stuff, a lot of purging, right? Releasing. And for that, in many cases, we need help. We need someone to support us or guide us through the process. So accept help from universe, or whoever the universe sends you to support you on your journey towards wholeness. Yeah, and through that process, we letting go of the old. Yeah, including the versions of ourselves. Okay, I was going to start with this deck, but that obviously deck wanted to speak to tell us about letting go and accept whatever will help you at this time. But yeah, the healing waters from Rebecca Campbell. This is about our emotions, because we are eyeballs deep in them right now. So let's see. Deep healing waters. What is the message after effects of the Pisces New Moon and entering Eclipse season? How are we feeling? Let's see, how are we feeling as a humanity? Ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Yeah, deep in the waters, right? Look, water everywhere, emotion everywhere. This is how we feel, overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, it's everywhere. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do first. All this stuff is coming up. Yeah, just ride the waves. Don't worry. Nothing lasts forever. Everything is cyclical, So yeah, look at this person. It's like, yeah, you see, the person is empowered because they like allowing whatever needs to happen. They're like dancing with the waves. Just ride the waves, But I mean, it's easily said than done, obviously, even for me. Anyway, and then let it rain, allowing what is, inevitability, trust. It's the same message. Oh my God, it's the same message. Let it go, accept help if you need to, allow it to wash over you, through you, don't get attached to it. You are not your emotions, you are not your thoughts, you are not your identity, you are nothing. Your identities are not who you are. They are part of the role you play, but they're not who you are. You are a divine being having an experience, and your higher self is having a blast, like, oh, interesting, So yeah, ride the waves and let it rain. We're going through our look, this is like a rebirth, just like surrendering to what is and let it wash over you. Yeah, allowing what is, inevitably trust. Let it rain. And also the rainbow. There is always a rainbow. We had the right way before, but I am going to read the Let It Rain. I feel guided to do so. So let's see about the Let It Rain. It's a beautiful card. Yeah. I'm not gonna read all the cards, just some that speak to me. Okay, allowing the inevitability and trust. There is a moment just before it starts to rain when the pressure can be felt. What's been building up is preparing for a big release. The clouds cannot hold their breath a moment longer, and then right on clue, they surrender the rain they've been holding on to, and downpour finally begins. While we may have preferred to see clear skies abound, a sweet relief can be felt when the waters of the skies return to the ground. There's also a special moment that can be felt immediately after the rain stops and the sun reappears from behind the clouds. It's similar to what happens to us during a good emotional cry. The endorphins that are released as we let Our red hot tears flow down our cheeks, evoke a feeling of sweet relief. Something's been released, lifted and clear. We feel a little lighter and more free. This card comes with encouragement to surrender to what's happening in your life. Maybe you're experiencing a challenge or something isn't going to plan. Although you might prefer the sun to shine all year round, there is an intelligence in the rainy days, and there's healing in your tears. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Soul inquiry, what are you being called to surrender to? Yeah, many of us are going through this, including myself. You know, we are all in the same boat over here on planet Earth. All right, I leave it with that. I think these messages speak for themselves. But yeah, if you wanted to understand what this new moon in Pisces kicked off, it's this. This is it. Because the full moon in September will be the eclipse. So you either do it or you'll be pushed to do it. Either way, it's happening. Okay, let's ask the angels and ancestors. Angels and ancestors. So we have the messages from the moon and from the emotions. You know, let's ask the angels and ancestors to give us some advice with regards to what we're going through, because they've gone through this before. Okay, guardian angel, here we go. Jump out. Ask angels for help. Angels are with you all the time. All the time there is a help available. And again, the tree. Look, again, the tree. You know, there is the feminine, the masculine, the sun, the moon, and the Holy Spirit. Right? And it's like kind of like a Merkaba, but not. Oh yeah, there is I believe behind the wing, behind the feather is a Merkaba. Yeah, the help is available. Just ask for help. We're being supported. We are not in this together. You in the physical body, you are just representative of your soul family, and many other members of your soul family are here with you. And this is a time when we are reconnecting, you know, to help us co-create. You know, the wheel is turning. New creation is happening. And medicine guardian, yeah, healing. Be open to healing information. Again, a lot of people are going through purging, especially being Pisces season, right? Full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, many people are going through purging. Healing of the heart, healing of the body. The help is available, ask for help. Okay, medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Okay, let's read that. And there is again the flower of life that's been coming up a lot. You know, there is a healing of the past. That's really what's happening, is the healing of the past. Medicine guardian. Let's see, medicine guardian. Guardian angel, yeah, you are not alone. Watch for signs and remind from angels, loved ones that are close by. Remember, they are working hard to guide you. That's the feather, you know. Angels, ancestors, everybody that is not in non-physical is here to support you in this process. And you know, and they're grateful that you are in physical and going through it. Be open to healing information. This one, let's read about this one. Listen to what is coming up within you and what is being shared with you by trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to healing information. Healing angels can help you heal emotionally, spiritually, and physically with their energy, but they can also direct you towards information that will help you return to wholeness. When this card appears, information is being revealed that can help heal an aspect of your current situation, whether that be your health, relationship, or even career. So be alert for this. The medicine guardian has a Caduceus healing wand, which represents the capacity to heal with the power of will and desire, and the chalice, which represents returning to the state of wholeness, a state where your cup is no longer full but overflowing with goodness. Yes, emptying the cup, emptying the past. The emerald color of the card represents the healing grace of Archangel Raphael and its healing and his healing angels. Extended message: you are being exposed to information and insights that will have a dramatic healing effect upon your life. If you are working through something mentally or emotionally, know that there are spiritual energies supporting your healing. If you are working through something that is physically challenging, pay particular attention to information that's coming to you that feels inspired, insightful, and warm. It will be supportive of your wellness. Your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness once more. That is Pisces, returning back to wholeness, to co-create the new. Saturn, Neptune, Pisces, moving into Aries, becoming whole to create the new from the clean slate, right? That's why we're having a live review as we speak. So yeah, Ask for help. That was always also already here. Ask for help. Ask for help to receive help. Help is unlimited, right? Yeah, it's time to let go of the things that don't serve. Help is available. The angels, the angel guardians, the ancestors, everybody in the non-physical is here to support us, and pay attention to what you're being guided to do with regards to your own personal healing. I know what is that for me. I'm preparing for my own tool of healing. So everybody has their own calling and their own way of getting through what we're going through, right? So just allow your inner compass to guide you to what is the right medium for you. Okay, let's ask the shamans. So that was the angels and ancestors. Let's ask the shamans, the ascended masters. What is the advice from the shamans to support us in this process of healing the past, releasing it, letting go, so we can create better future for all? Okay, here we are. What is the card? Wind. Give it to the wind. 63 number 9, wind. And at the bottom is sacrifice, number 44, sacrificing, letting go of that which no longer serves us. In many cases it's something that we might still like or enjoy, right? But we know that is no longer good for us, is no longer working for us. Habits, addictions, substances, whatever it is that helped us to get to where we are now, it worked for us, it was good thing until this point, but perhaps it's no longer, right? Because there are things that will have to be released. Again, if the cup is full, nothing else can be poured into it. There are things that will have to be sacrificed, given to the wind, given to the ether. Okay, let's speak to the wind. Wind, the ether, the Aquarius, right? Even though it is the water bearer, but it's the air element. Number 63, the sacrifice is 44. Yeah, the year 8 last year brought the strength to release, to sacrifice the old versions of ourselves. It's not an easy process. We have a deep attachments to it. Okay, where is this 63? Here. Oh, perfect. There is a wolf right underneath. Sigma, the wolf. Become your own leader. Your own leader, the leader of your future. Okay, the wind, the essence. Oh, is this the last card? Oh, not quite, the one before last. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, right? Mercury this week. Song and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. The sacrifice, right? West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decision and let go of attachment and ego desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. East, carrying clarity and vision and purpose. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage, right? The number 8, the strength, the sacrifice. At first, to turn and face the wind, but you will find exultation in moving forward, moving toward it and receiving its lessons. The invitation, when the spirit of wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps the old way of doing things has become automatic and now you've gained greater clarity. You can make a new choice. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Again, just like the medicine guardian. Ideas are solid and the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. The medicine, when wind comes as medicine, you've been invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorm provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, and your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. Just like this, right? Wait out the storm. Better things are coming, but a lot of things has to be cleared. Sacrifice has to be made. Yeah. North Node in Pisces, right? All right, I'm gonna leave it dead at that, and I'm just gonna pull a Sacred Destiny card. We're moving from shamans to destiny, and then major arcana, and close with that. Okay, Sacred Destiny. What is the guidance? Sacred Destiny. Okay. Stillness. Yeah, this is where we at. Stillness. This is literally this month. Stillness before the next opportunity, right? Stillness before the opportunity comes to create something that would give you a greater pleasure. That was underneath that one. So yeah, we are in the time of stillness to have the opportunity to go within, you know, to go within, reconnect, and also all that purple, that is crown chakra, and the white, the clarity, regain clarity with regards to what you want, where you go in. Venus is retrograde, reevaluating your needs, values, your relational dynamics. Last time Venus was retrograde in Leo, the purpose, opportunities will come, you know, to create pathway to greater pleasure, to life that is enjoyed, greatly enjoyed. And also here is like the deer, you know, new path, like a Bambi, right? Shaking on his legs, but know when you go in, you know, the path will be paid for you. There will be opportunity, and they will show you the path. They will show you the path ahead. But in order to see it, in order to connect, in order for this to come through, because this is a moon, high priestess, how is it going to come? You know, through intuition, subtle signs, right? This is how the invisible realm talks, you know, it comes through the subtle sign, the moon, the high priestess, to show you the way, to show you the path forward. And how we gonna get there? Through stillness, meditation, your spiritual practices. Let me just read just the stillness. I mean, it's all very self-explanatory. It's frozen tundra. Take a step back from a project, situation, or a relationship if just for a few moments. Bend bridges, slow down, again, slow down. Be still, go within, listen to your inner voice. Take time to connect with your spirit guides, ancestors, and spiritual guardians. Listen to your higher self. Timing is everything. This is not a good time to start a new cycle. Wait, incubate, fix things that need fixing, heal things that need healing, think things through, forgive yourself and others. If things seem barren or even bleak, hold on. Just as the migrating birds find new life in the tundra marshes in the summer, you will too expand once again during the coming thaw in your life. Yeah, Jupiter is moving into Cancer in June. When everybody goes, well, everybody is retrograde now, will go direct. Pluto will be obviously retrograde. So yeah, everything is still now. This is the month. This is the final month, you know, because then the Aries season will kick off and we start a new cycle. Moon is already in Aries now, but that's just giving us this new feelings with regards to how things needs to be in order to support you in this new cycle, which is through this stillness, you know, through this like a reconnection with yourself, like literally it's, and also the yin energy, right? Going inwards. This is all perfect. I mean, it's all saying the same message. This is the month for it. The Pisces season, the depth of the Pisces season. Sun is in Cancerian Decan, Cancer again. This is High Priestess, Moon, the Chariot, balancing the dark and the light, you know, understanding your shadows. So we become conscious, so we know when we are, our inner child, our wounded inner child is acting out. So we don't make the same choices from that place. We understand, we can make new choices, create a different outcome, break the pattern, free ourselves from the past contracts, right? Major Arcana final message, please. When I shuffled before, High Priestess did jump out, so let's see if she will come out again. Okay, Magician, Strength, yeah, actually that card was also on page 88. There was another one before, and the Fool, there you go. We cultivating strength, right? By taming the ego, right? The higher self is guiding you how to work with the ego self to support you on your journey. Number 8, the Infinity, You know, this is also manifestation, the year that we just came out of. And yeah, this is a preparation for next year. Oh yeah, look at all these beautiful cards. The Magician, the Fool, this is next year, the 10, literally 10. And the Sun, which is the 19, which is also the 10, the blessings. That's it. Yeah, the blessings are available. The blessings are available. Yeah, the behind this is death. We just need to let go of the old. We need to let go of the old. And yeah, and behind that was Emperor. Become your own leader. Let go of the old. And this is all available, you know. You cultivating the strength to manifest this new life, this new path for yourself. The year 10, the number 10, 19, number 10. We are all being reborn, right? The only standing here is the child, the little child that's reborn here, right? To create the new, the red. And behind that was the Emperor. Look, all the red, the creation of the new foundation. Number 4, new foundation. We are all working on cultivating strength by letting go. It takes a strength to let go of the old, right? To go through this process of metamorphosis, to transmute the energy of the past, but we are being guided. Help is available, right? Where is it? Yeah. Help is available at all times. Help is available. Healing is available. It's all available to us. That's what I mean. The veils are very thin, especially now in Pisces season. Very, very thin. It's very easy to connect. You know, Mercury in Pisces still, I mean, it's moving into Aries, but still. Mars is in Cancer. So here we go. Next year, the reset to create the new. So are you ready to release that which is taking the space? Because new things are coming, better things are coming, but we need to make space for them, right? That's what it's all about. So anyway, guys, with that, I'm going to close. Keep it simple. So I would like to thank my higher self, my spirit guides, angelic team, our ancestors, Starseed family, everybody that was present. Thank you so much for being present. Akashic record keepers, all the cards, the astrology, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope there was something of value in here for you, and it offers more clarity with regards to what you might be experiencing if you're feeling confused about it or overwhelmed. And yeah, I wish everybody a good week ahead. I will try to record free portal video. I will record practical application of astrology at some point. I really can't tell you when, whenever I feel ready for it, because I'm going through my own stuff. But yeah, have a great week ahead. If you guys would like to connect, or if you would like a guidance with regards to your own processing, then you can book a reading with me. I also have a calendar on my website now, so you can choose your own appointment. If nothing is suitable, then reach out. Yeah, anyway, I wish you all a wonderful week ahead, and I'll speak to you again soon. Much love everyone, and bye for now.